Okay, in L5-PE2, so the practice exercise 2, we're going to review changing physical material and appearance of different components in a design within Fusion. This will make it physically look different in Fusion, which is somewhat nice if you're trying to get screenshots or share with someone and you want you want the design to reflect what it might actually look like. But even more useful is when you identify the material, you can actually open up its properties and look at the material density, the overall weight of the component, because what it'll do is it'll take the density and multiply it by the volume for you. So you can get a lot of useful information and data off of any given component by specifying its material. Also with this, once you've identified the material, if you were to do any kind of like, say, stress analysis on the part, it'll actually account for the material properties when solving the FEA analysis. So, as you can imagine, materials behave differently. Let's say you're comparing ceramic versus like a stainless steel. For a specific component made out of stainless steel versus ceramic, it's going to behave completely differently. So by identifying it in Fusion, you can solve the FEA analysis, accordingly. All right. So if you haven't already, open up the file saw link. Okay, and then we're just going to review the physical properties that it currently has. And we do that by going to the browser and on the left-hand side, and we're going to click on the component of interest, right-click, and hit properties. And this looks a little bit different than this palette here looks a little bit different than this drop-down menu, and that's okay. We can just toggle under physical and we can look at the mass. It's 43 grams, just over. It's got a specific volume, density based off of the material, which right now is specified as steel. And then it also gives you the center of mass, which shouldn't change based on the material, but at any rate. So we've reviewed that. Okay, right-click on the component in the browser and select Physical Material. Search the Fusion 360 material library for aluminum and drag it up in this design area. All right, so we're going to go to Physical Material. Make that an editable document. Sorry, I wanted to make this an editable document so that it would save properly. Physical material. Okay, we've got all kinds of materials here, ceramics, fabrics, whatever. So let's go to metal, aluminum, drag it up to this design. And then you can toggle between the two, but we're going to hit aluminum. And it should make it look a little bit different if the two materials do in fact look different. Which in this case, they're both metallic. They look the same. Okay, now we're going to view the properties again. Once we close this, we'll right-click, click properties, and we want to verify that the crank arm is okay. So it's not aluminum yet. I need to go back in to physical materials. What didn't I do right? Okay, that should be highlighted. Unassign and delete. Can probably assign it. Okay. Oh, that's why I need to make the crank arm. I see. Let's see if this does the trick. Ugh, my computer is frozen. All right, and now it's made of aluminum. So what I did was, or what I did wrong was, I had SawLink active, and I needed to make the crank arm active before I could edit it as a new material. So then I right-clicked. I hit physical material, which pulls up this palette here, and I made sure to click aluminum. You can even click and drag, and that assigns aluminum to that part. And then you can go back into properties to verify that it in fact is aluminum. And you'll notice, if you go down to physical, it's mass change, or sorry, yeah, it's mass changed based off of its density and volume calc. Okay. Yeah, they again say in step 5, which is what we just did. We viewed the properties and we noticed that the component's mass and material changed or updated accordingly, from steel to aluminum. Right click the component in the browser and select appearance. Okay. Right click on the blue anodized appearance and select edit and adjust the color of the appearance before closing the dialog. So we'll go to appearance. All right, blue anodized, which is what this looks like right now. I think they said double click. Oh, right click. All right, right click, edit, and change it to whatever you want, and then click done. All right. All right, review the design changes and save the design. Okay, so really what we're covering here is that you want to identify, or there's at least useful information in identifying and assigning material to your various components. And you can further highlight the identification appearance-wise by clicking right clicking and hitting appearance, because if you have like 2 or 3 different materials that look identical in Fusion 360 or in general, say like various steels, then you're going to have a hard time identifying those within the visibly within the design environment. So you might highlight different steels with shading them differently. One might be this like rustic, yellow, blue, red, what have you. And it might not be a realistic appearance, but at least it helps you distinguish one from the other. And that's that.